So yeah, I mean, I guess here we are. Welcome everybody.
Well, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of We Doing Filmographies.
Yeah, I'm Julian.
And I'm Jason.
And we are in fact doing filmographies.
Yes.
This week, episode 8.
Yep.
Both in the episode list and also in Billy Crudup's filmography.
Correct.
We're going to be talking about the high-low country.
Yep. Stephen Frears.
Yeah.
1998. Rated R.
Yeah, Stephen Frears. Dirty Pretty Things.
High Fidelity.
The Queen.
The Grifters.
I actually saw The Queen in a theater in Madison with someone I was dating at the time.
Was that good? That would never appeal to me in a million years.
I don't know why I opted to go with this person.
Sure.
I thought it was a fine movie, and she ended up giving me an because she was bored.
Huh. That's good.
Yeah. So, boy, I didn't really know what to expect with this movie.
And neither do our listeners until we offer them a synopsis.
Hey-oh, synopsis time. Take it away, Gordo.
Oh, that's better. Oh, fuck. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a young man who wanted to be a cowboy.
And with great responsibility comes great
power.
What? Oh, yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't get my phone out of my pocket.
God, this guy's got one job.
Well, I didn't. Okay, hold on.
Maybe if you spend less time raising kids.
Oh, God, I wish. It'd be so nice. Can he?
God, they're going to hear this in 15 years. And
he didn't love us. No, guys, I love you.
He loves you.
It's very hard. It's always a hard day.
Kids are shit, man.
Oh, God. Man, let me tell you. Comes to the table. I've been cooking food all day.
Yep.
It's a crock pot, so not much to it. He comes to the table, and he's like, beets. Well, I'm not even going to tell you, because you know I hate beets. Every fucking night, the vegetable, he says he won't eat them because he hates it. There's not a vegetable he likes, except for sweet potatoes. And last time I made sweet potatoes, he wouldn't eat them because I like to eat them cold. I'm saving them for tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
And I threw away the sweet potatoes like a week later, man. What the fuck?
I fucking hate beets.
Oh, man, I like them fine. I don't think there's not a lot of vegetables to choose from, it seems like.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I like... bell peppers, potatoes.
We eat a hell of a lot of fresh bell peppers.
Green beans, carrots, multicolored carrots I started getting into.
Do they taste all that different? I've had them a couple times, but they were in things.
A little bit. It's not like discernible. And it kind of seems like the purple ones are, the white ones seem softer than the orange ones. And the purple ones are kind of like, but they'll stain. So you got to be careful.
They stain?
Yeah, the purple, the dye.
Like a damn beet? Yeah. And then you take a shit and you're like, oh no.
No, there's no poop stain.
No?
But if you get it on an article of clothing, you can have purple.
You spill carrots all over yourself and eat.
What do you do?
I use a fork. I don't know.
What do you do?
All right, man.
All right, hit us with that synopsis.
Oh, baby. Here's the synopses. Cowboy pals Pete Calder, Billy Crudup, and Big Boy Matson, Woody Harrelson, come back to the range after fighting in World War II. Pete hopes to return to the simplicity of cattle herding, but wealthy local rancher Jim Ed Love, Sam Elliott, warns him that the ways of the Old West have vanished. Big Boy boozes, brawls, bets, and wins the affection of the town's married temptress, Mona, played by Patricia Arquette. Down-to-earth Josepha, Penelope Cruz, yearns for Pete, but he wants what Big Boy has.
Of course.
Initial release, December 30th, 1998. This is one of those movies that made $50,000 or something like that.
Yeah, I think the budget was like 2.5. No, that was for Jesus' Son. This was probably, for the time, maybe a $20 million movie, maybe? I don't know. Somebody knows. I don't. I didn't read anything about this movie going in.
You're just like, sweet man, a Western.
Kind of. And at first, I very much thought that it was a traditional Western. I couldn't really peg the time period.
Like 1946.
Yeah, so like, is it?
I think so.
Yeah, so like the truck, I'm like, okay, so there's cars. I thought there were just horses, but there's cars. But he's at like a church in the middle of nowhere. and they buried people in the sand.
Well, I got that sandy ground there in Montana.
Yeah, so the movie opens, Billy Crudup's in his pickup truck, and he's going to a church, and he's got a gun.
Yep.
He's got a shotgun or a rifle?
I think it's a rifle.
Yeah, and he looks pissed.
Yep.
And sad.
Kind of crazed.
Yeah, and we don't really know what's going on, right? So we jump back in time.
To before the war, right?
To before the war, yeah, probably, I don't know, 40, 41.
Yeah, 42 is like
yeah,
the full scale.
We didn't get into the war until 41. So that's probably when this was, because they were like all geeked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are voiceovers throughout this movie, right? Billy
Isn't
Crudup does a narration.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I mean. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Billy Crudup does a narration. It's very sparse. It kind of hits and then it's gone for 25 minutes and then it comes back. But so he's on a horse. He's riding around, stops to roll up a cigarette.
He's still on the horse while he's doing it.
Yeah, he's even got his right leg crossed over his left leg. Like he's just hanging out on a comforter or something.
But you're on an animal.
Just takes off.
It's spooked.
And that stuntman, God bless him, it looked like he really fucking whacked his face on that terrain.
Why is that horse so scared?
I don't know.
Were you thinking about that too?
I was like, oh, is there a snake? Did I miss a gunshot or something? Yeah, right?
A cougar. A man-eating animal.
Mm-hmm. A female horse, and he wanted to have relations with her.
Yeah, was his dong flopping when he took off? Ah!
So he's like, you know what? I don't like this horse. I'm gonna go sell it to Woody Harrelson. And was it just me? Because Callie made a comment on this too while I was thinking it. I was like, oh, is this like Brokeback Mountain?
Oh, they got like a weird vibe?
They had a really weird vibe going on.
Yeah.
Lots of smiling, both with their mouth and their eyes.
Yeah, Roger Ebert comments on that in the review.
Does he?
That there's a intense vibe between the two of them.
Yeah, it doesn't really show up again throughout the rest of the movie. It was very strong in that opening moment.
Okay.
I thought. I was like, whoa, this is a bold movie for 1998.
I felt like I picked up on it more later on. Plus the whole...
Well, the campfire thing was a little, not homoerotic, but he was definitely willing to start doing his business in front of young Crudup.
I don't remember the scene.
We'll get there.
Okay.
It's a pivotal scene.
Is it really?
Kind of. So, yeah, Woody Harrelson's like, I'm going to join the Marines. And Billy Crudup does something and goes to war.
Oh, and they have that fight where he calls him a lady. Tells him he should find himself a nice husband.
Oh, in the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they're discussing going to war.
Right. And they were like jumping on each other. And
yeah.
So we jump. So we jump forward probably, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Nope. He's getting off the bus.
Yeah, he gets off the bus.
Is this where he meets Mona?
No, he gets off the bus and then eventually makes his way to the sock hop or the shindig, whatever they were doing, the square dance competition. I don't really know, but he sees Mona and she's like, hey, let's go outside, and he's like, oh, okay, I want to kiss on you. And she's like, I'm married now, to John Deal's character.
Yep.
Whose name escapes me. But
I knew it at one point.
And if you remember, John Deal, as we had been talking off air, he was the cab driver in Monument Avenue.
Yeah, the Monument Avenue. Guys,
Scruffy.
Get out there, rent that Monument Avenue.
Yeah, it really asks the tough questions about when is it time to move out, and what's the best way to teach your friend about hate crimes.
Is his name Boomer in this?
Oh, that's a good question.
It could be Boomer.
It could
Scruffy
be.
in Monument Avenue and Boomer in this?
I mean, it's definitely not Scruffy. It's just a dumb name like that, I think.
Is it Mouse 2 in Monument Avenue?
Oh.
Other Mouse?
Yeah, Rat.
That's where it should go.
Let's see here. John Deal. He plays Les Burke.
Boomer.
In To His Friends, yeah. So he's kissing on her, and she's like, no, not here at least. We're going to get shot. right?
I'll totally fuck you, but let's be a little more DL about it.
We don't meet Penelope Cruz at this point, do we?
I mean, did we already meet her at some point in this movie? Because they were dating prior to the war, I think, right?
It's hard to say, because, I mean...
Because she pops up at some point very soon.
The actress is, I think, 24 in this movie. It's her first American movie, by the way. She looks very mousy.
Yes.
I definitely probably would have opted for her.
Yes.
I mean, Patricia Arquette's a beautiful woman.
Oh, man, I am really super not into Patricia Arquette.
I mean, I'm not, but she's not like, she's no John Deal. He definitely won the lottery in that relationship. So after the party, I mean, it's just kind of Billy kicking around for a little bit. I think he meets Sam, what is his name?
It's Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott's character. And he's like, hey, I hear you're into cattle.
Jim Love?
Jim Love. Jim Ed Love. And eventually, Woody Harrelson returns. He comes riding up on a horse.
He got shot in the butt.
Oh, did he? I missed that.
Isn't that what they say? That's why he's taking a while to get back. He got shot in the butt?
I guess, because he said he got back stateside like a week prior. So he rides his horse up, chases Billy Crudup, tackles him, and they have a little bit of a tickle fight.
Yes.
And at this point, Billy Crudup's like, hey, I got some GI money. I want to get in the cattle game. I got me this dusty land. No grass to be seen for miles.
Well, if you're just moving them cows from one spot to another, no, they still need something to eat.
I was also actually kind of like, where does this take place?
Montana, right?
No, New Mexico.
Oh.
Hilo, New Mexico. In fact, at the rodeo, there's a banner that actually says New Mexico. Because I thought it was like, is this like Oklahoma? Is this like the Dust Bowl? It's 46. Like, no, but there's a mountain in the background and shit. It's New Mexico.
Yes.
So Woody Harrelson's like, oh, well, Jim Ed, he runs cattle around here.
He's the guy. We don't really do things the old way anymore.
Yeah, because little boy, big boy's brother,
Cole Hauser.
He was good in this.
He was legitimately scary a few times.
Yeah.
And then at one point you're like, oh, you're such a weak little boy. Okay.
Yep.
Little boy.
Yeah, because they're friends. He's rolling with them at least before they go away.
Yeah, he's part of the roughhousing circle at the diner before they go off to the war.
And their other buddy, what's that guy's name?
Is that Egg Chigliak, son of Billy Drago from Northern Exposure?
No, Jacob Vargas, who plays Delfino. He's a Hispanic character. And
oh, sure, yeah.
They disparage his ethnicity at one point in the movie.
I'm sure they do.
So they are like, okay, we're going to get some cattle. Jim Ed runs the show. Lil Boy is a farmhand. Most of the men in town work for Big Jim Ed.
He took over during the war. He didn't go to the war. He stayed back and got his company up and running. Yep.
And John Deal's character is his right-hand man, who's married to Patricia Arquette, who I guess is like the finest white woman in town.
Man. And according to Penelope Cruz, a former whore.
Yeah, I didn't catch that until she said that. I didn't know if that...
Well, I never picked up on it either, although her...
I mean, her demeanor is...
Man, I got some real problems with this lady.
So, somewhere in there, we meet Penelope Cruz. She's very young, very innocent. She loves Billy. He's pretty much indifferent to her. As soon as he catches a whiff of Patricia Arquette, he's just... That's it.
I don't get that at all.
I don't either, and it's annoying the further along the movie progresses.
I really felt like they should have picked somebody else for that role. Somebody where you're like, yeah,
like a Famke Janssen.
Yeah,
no,
I mean that's better. I don't.
She's in Monument Avenue.
Yeah,
is she?
She is.
Yeah. I don't know who you would get. Maybe a Winona
Jennifer
Ryder.
Connelly.
Honestly,
that would have worked for me.
That would have worked for me as well. I would have bought that big time because she's a little bit more subtle, I think, of an actress. Patricia Arquette, they're like, okay, your motivation is you're an adulteress, and she just runs with it. Mm-hmm. She's batting eyes left and right. She's wearing pants. What?
Yeah, right. That's a big problem around there, right?
So we establish these elements of the film, and then we get basically to the cattle auction, where they're like, here's the beef. Where's the beef? Here's the beef.
And they hook up with that guy, right?
Yeah, so Jim Ed's like, hey, young Bill, why don't you come work for me, man? I'll buy your land.
I was worried he was a problem. I thought maybe it was a trick
The other
of some
guy?
sort, yeah.
Yeah, so then this other old man who basically looks like Jim Ed.
Who's been in a million things.
1.5 million things.
And he seems... was his acting terrible the first couple times we saw him?
I don't...
Like at this auction, it was like, what was this guy reading a cue card off to the side?
I feel like... Is he in like The Naked Gun or something?
He's in a million things and died in 2010.
Okay.
I would have to...
Yeah, I don't think he's really good in most of his scenes. I think he's just there. He has a southern accent.
He's all right towards the end.
I mean, he's okay. So, yeah, he just kind of walks up. He's like, hey, you want like 150 head of cattle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 400 head or 500, get a really good price on the bulk, and then he'll, give the 150 to Billy for a fair price, as long as he helps them drive the cattle, and then allow the cattle, because their land is adjacent to one another. So he's like, we'll just let the cow on all our land. Right?
I don't know. It took me 3 tries to watch this movie.
From the start?
No, I didn't restart it.
Oh,
it's so dull.
Yeah. I'll say this right up front. The movie's got a lot of problems, but based on Woody Harrelson and Billy Crudup's performance for the most part, and Sam Elliott, he's always reliable.
He is actually...
I think it's a
he
fair
barely
movie.
has any words, man, but like his looks...
He's got such a shit-kicking grin on his...
His smile is shit-eating.
Shit-eating grin.
He's terrifying. He's like a monster without the mustache when he smiles. His mouth is so wide.
Yeah.
It feels like he's going to gobble you up.
Yeah, he's almost like the devil. It's like you can tell how much enjoyment he's getting running this show and just watching every angle, waiting for that train wreck to happen, that domino to fall. Because later in the movie, there's a young guy who doesn't really pop up too much, some cowpoke, who's like, he served my parents paper when I was in the war and took their land. And then he goes over and urinates on him. Remember that?
No.
He pees on him and Jim Ed's money man. You don't remember that?
Is this during the poker game?
No, before that. They're
game?
just in the bar having drinks. Sam Elliott comes in and he's like, I had a windfall. Tell him about it. And the other guy, the actor who plays his accountant, I've seen him in a million things.
Yeah,
too.
the one who has the heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
The worst heart attack on screen you've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, boy.
That did a lot. Sorry.
Not to jump ahead, but during that scene, I didn't see the heart attack coming. And I thought it was just going to be, I just lost all Jim Ed's money.
Yeah, I thought maybe
like he was playing loose with the purse strings.
Yep.
So, yeah, this guy's like, you stole my parents' land, and he pees all over them. Woody Harrelson intervenes just to save his friend, basically. And Jim Ed's like, thank you, Woody. Let me buy you guys a drink. And he's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Right? And then he goes, another guy comes up to Woody Harrelson, big boy, and he's like whispering in his ear. And Billy's like, what you got going on, big boy? And he goes, come with me. And they go outside. And Billy Crudup walks up on him, making out with a woman. And
who's it going to be?
Woody Harrelson steps aside, and who is it?
It's Mona, Patricia Arquette.
And she has a look on her face. Billy has a look on his face like, fuck. How am I going to get her to cheat on her husband with me now?
Yeah.
And she has a look on her face like, oh, this is going to be fun. It's kind of like Jennifer Connelly when she's riding him.
Yeah.
That sly look of like mischief.
I really am like, I'm so grossed out by like this super level of adultery. It's not even like she's got like one boyfriend. It's like she just she's like just throwing it around, which is like, I mean, if you're single, that's great, but like, and I don't even know if her husband's a dick. He seems like he's fine.
He seems fine.
He seems like
older.
If
that, really. I mean, John Deal probably wasn't much more than maybe 10 years her senior.
Yeah. I don't know. Her behavior grosses me out.
And they even say later on when Billy's dancing with her, or maybe before that, they're like, oh, John Deal's wife is at it again, all these men. So it seems to suggest
It's been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
She's just picking people out.
And John Deal looks like a total cuck.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there like looking like his dog got ran
Does
over.
he seem oblivious to it most of the time? Because by the time he actually figures out what's going on, he's real mad.
I think he hasn't seen it, right. He's heard the rumors, but he hasn't seen it.
She'd never do that to me.
Right, but then
She's gone a lot, but she'd never do that to me. She's with her friends.
So Woody Harrelson's like, hey, I met her when I got back, and I fell in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to this other guy's house and bang. Can you give me a ride? And Billy's like, okay. And they get there, and he goes to Woody Harrelson like a little fucking lost puppy. He's like, you want me to come back and get you? Can I peek through the window while you guys are doing it? And he's like, nah, partner, Elf, or whatever the guy's name is, Eli, maybe. Well, give me a ride home. So now we got this thing going on. They're doing cattle running. Jim Ed really isn't a problem.
No.
He never does anything nefarious. He doesn't fuck with them. He doesn't plot against them.
And I doubt he stole that family's farm.
No.
I'm sure they were behind on payments.
Yeah, he probably
wanted that property.
Them what they thought it was worth. Even in this scenario, he says, y'all do what you want. You're going to come work for me eventually.
Yeah, he's kind of not the villain of this movie at all.
At all. I don't think he doesn't tell anybody to beat anybody up.
Nope.
He may orchestrate an attempt on Woody Harrelson's life on behalf of John Deal, but he probably was doing it at the behest of John Deal.
Yeah.
So they're just going around, really. I mean, that's all the movie is. They're just rotating around. He's pining for Mona.
It's so much a romance, a boring romance, where it's just like, if you're not invested in these people's love, if you would even call it that, because it's so gross, there's just nothing to like latch onto here.
I don't think the performances back up the material, right? Like, Woody Harrelson's charming as fuck.
Yeah.
He's got a really nice hairpiece in this.
He does. I think Crudup's great, man. I enjoy him.
He plays a really good just guy.
Like, maybe, I don't know if he's like a little bit dumb. I think he's just maybe sheltered from like living on like a ranch style.
It's the 40s, there's like 9 people in their town.
Yeah, he's not used to being around a lot of people.
He went to war. We don't know what he did, where he was, what kind of action he saw.
All of it.
And then he comes back, and he's got Penelope Cruz pining for him. She pops up intermittently.
Yeah.
Only when it's necessary.
She's not great either, man.
Oh, he does have sex with her, right?
Penelope Cruz?
Yeah, doesn't he? He said, I love you. She goes, I love you, Billy. And he goes, I love you too. And I think they have sex.
I don't recall them having sex. The only person I recall him having sex with was Patricia Arquette.
Spoiler alert.
And was that a rape? I was like half paying attention. And I was like, wait a minute. She looks very not into this. Yeah. I think he might have just climbed on her.
We're pretty much there at this point. But there is the poker game.
Yes.
So their friend, he loses like a month's wages, he says. God damn it, Jim Ed's accountant is a bastard or something. I don't know. So Woody Harrelson's like, all right, I'm going to get in on this game. Because we eventually find out that his family's notorious gamblers.
Oh, yeah. That is the backstory. His father was killed for...
His father killed a man over a game, and then that man's brother killed his father. And then the grandma goes, your grandfather, he killed someone and he got killed too.
Isn't she like, I used to know how to play poker?
Uh-huh. I used to be a whippersnapper. So they're playing poker, and he's just running roughshod all over John Deal and accountant guy and the other guy. And he's putting in like, he goes all in with like a pot of like $400. John Deal folds, and Woody Harrelson's just giving him the business, goading him so that he goads the accountant. He ain't got shit. Take him on, accountant. And he goes, I'm all in, fucker. And I got a full house. And Woody's like, oh, God, I only got 3 queens. Right, like they do. And the guy goes full arm to pull the pile of money towards him. And he goes, and 2 tens. Oh, the crowd goes wild. And he just rips into the accountant dude who's just shitting bullets at this point. Excuses himself, goes outside. He's got the vapors.
Yep.
And like I said before, I thought it was going to be like, that's Jim Ed's money. That's where the trouble's going to come from.
Yeah.
That he basically effectively lost Jim Ed's money, and Jim Ed's going to say to Woody, you kind of stole it. But that's not what happened. The guy just has a heart attack and dies.
And Woody talks mad shit about him at the bar.
Yeah.
John Deal comes in and calls for an ambulance.
Yeah. And then he goes, don't worry about it, John Deal, his friend. He's dead. And he goes, you bastard, he's dead. And Woody's like, so?
Even better, I'll drink to that. Drinks for everybody.
You think I give a shit about that, boy?
What's up with him having a heart attack, man? Like, well, how much money did you bring to this fucking... Why would you bring enough money that you have a heart attack and die?
I mean, it's 1946, so $400 on one hand, it's not like $1 million, but it's
a lot. I was quite
yeah.
grossed out when Woody was like running around with wads of money and just slapping them down places. Like, man,
yeah,
you got this is too much money to have out in public here, dude. You need to get somewhere safe.
I'm assuming Jim Ed is possibly a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got he runs the town effectively. So the accountant dude, he's probably making decent money. So yeah, that'd be like a day's work of money for him.
But don't be bringing more money than you can lose to the poker game.
Especially if you're prone to dying of heart attacks.
Yeah.
So John Deal's like, I don't want to get beat up because everybody in this bar is on Woody's side because I think he's buying him drinks.
And I don't think they especially... I mean, people work for Jim Ed, but I don't know if they particularly like him.
Yeah,
they prefer Big Boy.
Yeah. And so word somehow... Oh, and then he's like, hey, I want to have sex with Mona. Can we use your place, Billy Crudup? And he's like, oh, okay. That's fine. And all the while we're hearing in his brain how much he loves Mona and he wants her even more now and all this cockamamie bullshit. So eventually they go out on like a group date. Mona and Woody, Billy and Penelope. For some reason, I don't know why. And they go down to the river. And they have a bonfire going and they're drinking. And Woody's kissing on Mona and Billy's just staring. Penelope Cruz is sitting there like, dude, what the fuck?
What's your problem, bro?
Right? And so Woody Harrelson starts going in on that and Billy's just slamming the whiskey. And he tries to get in on Penelope Cruz. And she's like, no. The fuck? And she's like, I know. Let's go to the fortune teller. Because
that's the thing to do.
Yeah, so they pile into their respective vehicles and go to the fortune teller, who's just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, that's her life, right? just sit out there until 11 p.m. and then you can go to sleep.
And then she goes to Billy because he goes in first. She goes, "You want the cards or the ball?" He goes, "I want the ball." And so she's like, "What do you want to know?" And he's like, Are all of us gonna be alive in 1 year?"
No.
Damn it. So he leaves. And then Woody Harrelson goes in?
Is this when he rapes Mona?
He does. I don't remember at what point why Penelope Cruz and Woody Harrelson are both gone, but they're both not there. So he follows her into the woods and just rips open her dress.
Yeah, okay. So that's... There's nothing happened prior to this. He's just like, I'm gonna get her, and then he goes and gets her.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's so fucking gross.
I don't know if
who are you gonna root for?
Maybe he tries to kiss her or something, and she storms off. But again, I don't recall why Penelope Cruz or Woody Harrelson weren't there. Why would they both be in the fortune teller together?
Yeah,
it doesn't
it
make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes up, he rips open her dress, throws her on the ground, and has sex with her.
And she looks not pleased.
Yeah, it's. I was talking with Callie. We were both on the same page here. Like, she's clearly not into it, but she's not saying no. She's not putting up a fight or really much of anything. So I don't know if she's just hammered, shocked.
I think it's shock. I think she likes him as a person.
Yeah.
I think it's probably confusing for her, and this is a different time where she's like, "Yeah, men are like this."
It could be something that's happened before, and it's odd because she's friendly towards him, and like maybe mildly cutesy, but she is in no way ever giving him.
No, it never returns to the initial fire between the two of them.
No, he carries her groceries. at one point, and he's like, "Hey, baby." She's like, "See ya."
I like Big Boy.
Yeah, and the script very much dictates that they're madly in love, which I don't really get the impression.
Big Boy
of.
and Mona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
No, not really, man.
At all.
I mean, he likes her.
He seems really into her.
She seems like she's just sneaking around with her husband.
Yeah, she seems like she's like, he's the guy today, and he wants to continue to do it.
This is my secret boyfriend.
Yeah, it's dumb. So he rapes her, and then he carries her back. And Penelope Cruz is like, "Here, come with me. We'll go inside and get a blanket from the soothsayer." And again, Woody Harrelson isn't around. Maybe he's passed out in the truck?
That could be.
Because he's not there. And then Billy Crudup drives Penelope Cruz home. And she's just like...
She's very disgusted with him, right?
Yeah, she's like...
And disgusted with Mona. She has a very low opinion of Mona.
She even... Yeah, because she goes, "You want to be with that ex-whore? Married woman?"
Everybody's been with her.
Yeah. And I'm pretty banging.
I appreciated Penelope Cruz's disgust. I
Yeah.
was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for not being a crazy person like the rest of these people in this town.
She was definitely even-keeled throughout most of the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, we can't fool around because my dad's going to be pissed. And, hey, I like you. Why are you raping this woman?
Why don't you date me properly? But whatever, bro.
Because clearly she's probably like, he just raped her. Right? I mean, her clothes are torn.
Yeah, I guess.
She seems like catatonic almost.
God, fucking horrible. How is your main character just raping a friend in the middle of the movie?
Yes. And I was wondering, like, if they made a decision for her to just sort of be not one way or the other during the rape, to try to redeem some semblance of relatability for his character.
No, man, I think she made like a good acting choice in that. Like I think she went with like a realistic reaction to it.
Yeah.
I don't think
because there's no coming. It's his Dennis Leary moment where he loses the audience by doing an incredibly gross and hateful thing.
Well, good for him that I wasn't super clear on what was happening until we discussed it because I was half zoned out.
Yeah, so
I didn't even know it was her on the ground initially too. I was like, is that Penelope Cruz? What's going on here?
Yeah, and then we don't really see Penelope Cruz again, I don't think. Gosh, I think we skipped the fight at the dance. I think that comes before the rape. Where they're at the dance and John Deal's got it out for Big Boy.
Yeah.
Because Penelope Cruz is dancing with him.
It's
and she
almost
goes,
like
Mona
it's a
just
setup.
came in. Do you want to go over there? It is. And the guy grabs a chain from Billy Crudup's truck, right?
Yeah.
But doesn't he then try to hit Billy Crudup with it?
What? No, doesn't he whack somebody over the arm with it?
I don't remember.
Somebody with a gun, maybe? It's
a brouhaha. So, at this point, it's just a cowboy movie.
Yeah.
Mona's not really in it.
But I mean, is it even a what's it? Oh, there's
because they're riding the range.
That is the one I enjoyed. This
the
out riding. Something's in that cloud over there. Could even be a blizzard. Sure enough, fucking blizzard, man.
Yeah, actually, because Billy Crudup's out there pushing a cow around, knocking it over, and
what's he injecting that cow with?
Dragging its
meat tenderizer
legs and.
No, that's a good move. That's how you get it moving again. You gotta flip it over and lift its legs up, and then it's a stupid cow, so it stands up.
I guess. So Woody Harrelson's like, "Hey, it's been a week. Where you been, buddy? Since Mona had her clothes torn.
Yeah.
She hit a bush or something. I guess I was not there." And he's just like, "Oh, I'm just riding the range on the periphery." And he goes, "Well, shit, come on. I think whatever the name of the guy that we're working with is looking for you. And there's something in them clouds." There's a couple of really good lines, and I don't think I wrote any of them down throughout the movie.
I wrote down a quote.
Okay.
Something's broken sad. I can feel the pieces moving. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I also wrote down, I'd rather be doing nothing on my phone than watching this.
Oh. I watched this whole one with Callie in parts.
What did she think about this thing?
What
do you mean in parts?
We watched like the first, 40 minutes, and then she went outside while the movie was still going. So then I eventually paused it because she was doing she's like, "I'm just going to go out and do some gardening." And then I came out and I basically apprised her of what she had missed, and then we came back and finished it. She was also, why does he want to be with this woman?
That's a real good question, man.
So the storm hits, and it's a big one.
It's quite a bit of snow.
It's a whiteout. It's a blizzard. While they're riding, their guy, his horse falls on him and busts his hip.
Yes, and the horse is all fucked up too, right?
Right, and so they're down a horse, because Billy Crudup doesn't have a horse for some reason. So Woody Harrelson puts the older guy on his horse.
The one they were working for.
And Billy Crudup grabs the tail of Woody's horse, and he's like, we're going in. And Billy Crudup, do you remember that? He's
I thought, okay, I was thinking, because he doesn't he pistol whip the horse with the broken leg to death?
He stabs it. Maybe he pistol whips it. I guess I don't know.
I guess it would make more sense if he
shot
it, but it seemed
it's
like...
It's not a gunshot, but it's a thud. I think he stabs him in the brain.
Yeah.
Brains him. So Billy Crudup, he passes out, or he falls down. I can't make it. Go on without me.
Oh, he doesn't say that.
He doesn't.
I don't think he says anything.
Because, and Woody Harrelson realizes he's down, and he comes up to him and he goes, grab that fence. I'll come back for you, but grab that fence and the fence will lead you in.
If you wander off this fence, I'll never find you. It's a blizzard.
And Billy Crudup's like got gloves on, but he's grabbing the barbed wire, and he's really grabbing it. It's like tearing his gloves. It's like, dude, you don't need to do that.
Just be aware of it.
Right, and then he goes, I give up. I deserve this because I raped Mona.
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, I'll just die here. And then he wakes up in the bed.
All fucked up.
All fucked up. Probably got a little frostbite? Frostbite, not frostburn. I'm like, frostburn?
Freezer works, man. It's pretty good though.
And then they're like, hey, our boss's hip's broken.
He wants to talk to us all in there.
He's got a fever. Let's go in.
Kevin Woody Harrelson.
This was a little confusing to me. Because he goes, I'm running my wheel in case I don't make it. I'm giving Woody Harrelson 25% of the business. He's the boss now. And I'm like, well, there's 4 guys. Who's getting the other 75%?
Yeah, not clear. I guess family we don't know about.
How much does Billy own? Because he owns cattle. But then he goes, oh, sorry, Billy, most of the cattle that are dead are yours.
Yeah. That's rough, man. So
sorry,
it's like,
bro.
Game over for you. You're not a rancher anymore.
Yep. And the guy dies.
He didn't last till spring.
So it's probably he's battling this for like couple months.
Yeah.
Right?
There's not much medical care, man. Sometimes they show these movies, anytime they get injured, I'm like, well, that's the end of you.
Yeah, your hip's shattered. I mean, what are they going to do?
Oh, man, you scratched your hand on that barbed wire. I guess you're going to die in a couple of months.
Yeah, and so they're doing pretty good in the business, it seems. Fine enough. And then basically they go to have dinner or lunch or something at Big Boy's house. And he gets there and there's all this lumber outside, and he goes, what the hell? This lumber's been here for 2 weeks. Where's little boy? Oh, he's inside sleeping. God damn it. And little boy comes out like, what'd I do now? And Woody Harrelson starts smacking on him.
And he fucking deserves it, man. He still lives there.
He does.
2 old ladies.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything to help.
Right. Like all he does is get Jim Ed Cokes and nothing else.
Fucking anytime Big Boy's around, he starts working on things.
Yeah.
He's helping.
It's like, what is his house? Located on Monument Avenue? So he's whooping on him. I mean, he's smacking him around.
Yeah.
Big brother style.
Not stomping his head in or anything.
No. He's just smacking him in the back of the head. But then little boy gets into his car and Woody Harrelson pulls him out and he punches him in the face. He's like, you are a shit stain. And then
he is.
Billy Crudup's like, all right, he's had enough. Let's go inside. And so Billy Crudup, Woody, and Mama are walking towards the house. And little boy's had all he can take.
I'm so sick of you pushing me around.
You ain't Chronicles of Riddick. How dare you?
And he pulls a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And Woody Harrelson's like, you're a pussy. You're not going to shoot me.
Yeah, you can. There's like a slight sense that he realizes it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly he's like, you're my brother, man. Cut the shit. And he's got his hand up. Like, stop. And little boy shoots him through the palm of the hand. Like Eric Draven in The Crow.
Except for his hand does not grow back together.
It doesn't. And then he shoots him twice in the chest.
Shoots him dead.
Just boom, boom, and he goes down.
Well, I shot you in the hand. I guess I got to kill you because you'll probably beat me up if I don't finish the job.
Yeah, and then he jumps into his car and peels out of there, and Billy tries to grab it, but he's unable to.
And they watch Big Boy die slowly.
Yeah, he's like, oh, mama, and then he's dead.
I felt like this scene should have really hit me hard, and it did not.
It was a long death scene.
Yeah.
He's really gurgling. He's really, and tell Mona. Does he say tell Mona I love her?
I guess.
Some shit. And my baseball card collection, give that to, he's really just rambling.
She's pregnant now.
That's right.
Probably with Crudup's baby.
That's right. Oh, because you know what? They go on the road together. Mona, Woody, and Billy. They're staying in like a motel. This is earlier in the movie. And Billy helps her with her luggage and he tries to kiss her. She's like, no.
And then she explains she's a mother-to-be.
Yeah, and then whatever. So he's dead. They bury him. Billy's gonna kill little boy. That's why he's got the gun at the church.
Yep.
Circle back.
Yep. It's the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
But now it's the end of the movie.
Yep. And the mama goes up to him and she goes, I know what you're thinking. I know what's in your eyes or your heart or your mind or something. It's inside of him somewhere.
I can tell something's broken inside.
Oh, there you go.
I can feel pieces moving.
There we go. And she's like, I don't remember what she said.
She says it was self-defense.
She goes, yeah, it was self-defense, right? Because little boy ain't going to jail. And Billy's like, what? She goes, don't kill him. He's all I got. He's a shithead, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And he's just like, it was really nice because he goes, well, you're Big Boy's mama, so of course I got to do what you said. I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Some old boy shit. Good old boy shit. Not old boy shit. Old boy shit would be quite the antithesis.
Yeah.
So he goes up to little boy. All right. And he's like, you're a dick.
Yeah. This is a pretty stupid exchange.
And then the movie. Oh, and then Mona comes up and she goes at the grave. She goes, I couldn't watch him bury him. What are you doing? I hear you're going to California.
Penelope Cruz lives there, right?
Yeah. Somehow he knows where she is. He Googled her, I guess.
They got that back then?
I don't know how else the fuck he'd find her unless she told him.
I mean, her family's there, right?
Yeah, but it didn't seem like her dad liked him, she said. I don't know. Anyways, he's like, I'm going to go there now because I got nothing here.
And you really can't stick around or you're going to end up killing little boy.
Absolutely. He's going to be drinking hard.
Yeah. He's got a problem.
He does. And so he leaves.
That's the end of the movie, y'all.
It's a clumsy movie. I guess, do we just want to go into ratings?
No. No, come on. This can't just be a story recap. Let's go deep.
Okay.
Let me hear what you have to say. I thought maybe you liked it.
I liked parts of it. If it either would have been a different actress playing Mona, or it would have just been Woody Harrelson's dating this guy's wife, but Billy Crudup is indifferent to it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's his boy, so he rolls with him. Get all that love triangle shit out of that.
It's not even a triangle.
Because then she
four sides.
He goes, I never had the courage to tell Big Boy that I raped you in the hotel.
I told him right after you raped me.
What? He knew this
fine
whole
with it.
time?
He was fine with it. He still loved you.
Yeah, right. Because he knew what was up, I guess.
I
mean, not that she was in any way signaling to Billy Crudup that if only he forced himself on her, would she be with him. But he loved him. He loves her, but he loves him too.
Ugh.
And that's life.
I guess, man. It seems like you maybe don't treat that lady so good if you're fine with her rapist being your best friend.
Yeah.
I don't know if you done raped my lady, I'd probably be pretty mad at you, Julian.
God.
We probably wouldn't have a podcast no more.
I would, no. I'd be in jail, for one.
Yeah, we'd tell.
But this is the third movie now where he's had some real problems with women.
Yeah.
He's the main character.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. He's in this the whole movie. I think Woody Harrelson's by far the best part of the movie, acting wise. I like the setting. I like I don't know.
I just felt like it was all goddamn nothing.
It was a lot of nothing. It's not. So first off, you can't find this movie anywhere to rent. Well, I mean, maybe like a video store, but you can't stream this. I happened to find it. A terrible version on Vimeo.
Was there nothing on Just Watch? Nothing at all?
No, nothing came up that I saw. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it's not hard to see why this movie kind of just got lost.
I mean, it was made 30 years too late. You could have made this 30 years prior, and people have been like, yeah, cowboy movie. I agree with you. I think
it's not available to stream in our region, I guess. I don't. It could be on,
replace
Netflix India or something. But.
Replace Patricia Arquette. Lean into the cowboy stuff, more cowboy stuff, because this was a romance disguised as a cowboy movie. Not even romance. Like, I don't even know what you would call it. I guess.
I think there were far too many ancillary friends. It should have just been Billy and Woody.
Yeah, there should have been some more action to this.
I mean, you throw a little boy in there, I guess, because if that's where the movie's going, you need him.
Yeah.
But their friend, they have like 3 friends that don't really add to it. We don't see them cow-handing with them. Cow-handing?
Sure. Cow herding?
Well, but you're a farmhand.
Cowpoke.
Farmhanding. Cow poking. Poking cow.
Yeah.
Mona's a big nothing.
If you are going to follow these people for a couple of years, how about we stretch it out to be like 10 years and more stuff happens?
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey man, here's a year and a half where not a lot happens.
More, I mean, there's a decent amount of town stuff. I like the singer at the hoedown.
Yeah.
He seems like just nonchalant, but he's hitting some pretty decent falsettos. I like that. Like I said, I didn't even really like the mom. She's not really in it that much. Jim Ed, what's the point in that character?
Man, I mean, I don't know.
He needed to really be
if he could have been more of a character or was in more scenes lurking like he is in that bar when, he's just kind of back there watching.
Mona should have been his wife.
That would have been better.
Get John Deal. I mean, he's fine, but get him out of there.
I think that this is based on a book.
It is.
That came out in the 60s. Somebody else tried to make this movie. Who the fuck was it? It was like a Western. Somebody who made good Westerns tried to make this movie 40 years ago, and it didn't. And they could never get it off the ground.
And it's funny because I told Callie this. I said, this movie feels like it's trying to be like a Coen Brothers movie.
Really? I just thought it felt like a very throwbacky, like...
It's throwbacky and kind of cheesy and clumsy, but then they kind of try to go for like slightly darker moments here and there, and I don't know, man.
I feel like this movie is what people who haven't seen Yellowstone probably think Yellowstone is. And I bet you Yellowstone is so much better than this thing.
Yeah, I mean, Open Range blows this out the water. Dances with Wolves blows this out the water. I mean, that's a pretty lousy movie.
I've never seen it.
You don't need to. You've seen this.
Yeah,
It only gets better from here.
You know what? And I don't think it's like... It's not a piece of shit.
No.
It's just boring.
No, I think it's competently made. I think the direction is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's not like any like blow your mind cinematography moments or anything.
But it's not clunky or ugly.
No, I'm never lost. I know where we are. They establish key locations very well. Billy Crudup's, pulling barbed wire, gets hit in the face. There's a lot of natural...
God, why couldn't there be more like ranch things? Why couldn't it be more like Donald Sutherland in the Prefontaine movie, like explaining how to run with your body? Like, give me more details that I don't know. Give me more insight into the life of a rancher. You know?
That's just it. I think we needed more. There's a couple of things that this movie could have went one way or the other. It could have been a half hour longer to flesh out more aspects of it. It could have been the current running time, but got rid of the whole Mona thing. She could be in there. She's with Woody, but it's not what's driving Billy Crudup. He's focused on doing the house or the horse cow stuff, and Penelope Cruz is around or whatever, but maybe he's just not into her, and she outgrows him and moves on or whatever. Or it's just a straight cowboying movie. It did doing the ranch thing. Jim Ed's a fucking thorn in their side. He causes something to happen that cripples their boss and forces him to die. But Mona's his wife, and so he's also gunning for Woody, and maybe he kills him at the end, right? But he somehow is a linchpin to the society, or Billy's mama, or Big Boy's mama is like, you can't. We need him, so he doesn't kill him and he leaves. I don't know. There's pieces of this movie that work. There's aspects of it that I like, but I'll never remember this movie.
Yeah.
I'll never think about it again.
I found it to be a wildly unpleasant viewing experience. Here's a question before we get to ratings. Are we too mean? Because I listened to with Gorley and Rust, and boy, those fellas are extremely nice to each other, which we're nice to each other.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, no, we're good. But they're also try not to be mean to the movies.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing with the Blank Check boys. I don't think they try to be mean to the movies. I hate about half of these movies we've watched, and I say terrible things about them. Is this mean? Hey, listeners, is this too much? I know that I'm not Stephen Frears. You don't have to compare my life to his. But I don't like this movie.
Here's the deal. If I was just watching this movie of my own volition, popped up somehow and I'm watching it, I would have watched the whole thing.
Really?
I would have finished it. I mean, I've watched Drek.
Yeah.
And finished it.
You seem okay with that.
If a movie's on, it takes a real... Usually what turns me off of a movie is a quality aspect. If it just feels too low budget, or if one of the main performances is just not doing it, that could turn me off. But so I would have finished this movie and I would have been like, yeah, I was fine. But because, we are sitting here really thinking about it. Yeah. I don't normally take notes during movies.
No.
So things stick out to me more. And since we have a venue in which to air our grievances, I think that's going to lend itself to less than stellar movies kind of not making the grade. And
I'm again, I'm not saying it's not for me. It's not a bad movie. Whatever other people could see, the old people could see things in this.
That's just it. It's odd that the characters are young. I mean, Woody Harrelson's probably in his 30s.
That's a great question.
Maybe.
You didn't... I don't know if that was a question, but I think...
Well, because Billy Crudup was, 28 in...
Yeah, he's got to be around 28, 29.
So they're all probably borderline 30 in this movie.
But Harrelson's got to be between 35 and 40, I would say. I mean, Cheers. Cheers was mid-80s.
Yeah, but he was in his 20s.
Yeah. Fast forward 10 years.
I guess. Yeah, you're probably right.
I got them ages in my head.
You're probably right. Let's see here. He is currently 60. He was born in 61. So, yeah, he'd have been 38 in this one. 37.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's no young buck. That hairpiece does a lot of heavy lifting.
He looks
nice. To try to convince us that he's probably younger than he was. But
I got a piece of bad.
This feels like an old person movie.
It does. It really, really does.
Callie's dad would have probably been like, yeah. Callie's mom would have been like, oh, good. Then not for me.
No, I will give it a 5. I will say.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's. I don't like it, but it's not awful. Give it a 5.
And Crudup's performance?
I give Billy, my guy Billy. I think I give Billy about a 7.
I'll second that.
Okay.
It's a mediocre but fine movie. Billy Crudup's performance, given the material, he's doing some stuff. Yeah. All right. I guess that's it.
Well, I got a piece of it.
He's got to pee.
Okay. Please look at our Instagram.
Yeah.
We doing filmographies.
Yep.
Send us an email.
Yeah. If you want to suggest an actor, we probably won't do anything with it. But
listen, if we get good enough listeners, we can do a Patreon. You guys can pick somebody.
Yeah, and if you're watching these along with us or after, it'd be fun if you know what the episode is and watch it and then listen to our take on it. But if you end up watching in some form or another, feel free to just be like, hey, this movie's cool. Give us your rating.
That I would, yeah, I'd be pumped with that. We might mention you. Also, next week we'll be doing Jesus' Son.
Yep.
One of my very favorite movies. The only reason we are doing Billy Crudup. I'm gonna pee my pants.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I've been Jules,
and I've been Jason,
and we doing filmographies.
Yeah, movies.
All right, folks.